A few days ago, someone left a very interesting comment on my last video. The comment was basically to dispel e-commerce outside of Amazon. And as someone who do e-commerce outside of Amazon, as you can imagine, I felt a strong urge to respond to that comment, and that is exactly why I'm creating this video. So the comment that was left basically says, and I quote, "Good luck with that when everyone goes to Amazon for their stuff." And by that, he's referring to Shopify e-commerce. So what he's basically saying is that e-commerce outside of Amazon is not worth it. And I totally disagree. Yes, Amazon is dominant and may continue to be dominant for a very long time, but there is still an amazing opportunity for individual e-commerce entrepreneurs like myself. This comment basically proves to me that people are really concerned about Amazon's dominance in this e-commerce space, and that is a big part of the reason why more people don't consider starting brands and starting their own e-commerce businesses. So what I want to do for you in this video is to share with you 3 very powerful ways that you can compete in this Amazon dominated e-commerce space. So if you want to learn exactly how you can do that for yourself, then please continue watching this video. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Amazon definitely dominates e-commerce, and that's a known fact. But does it mean that you cannot still start your own e-commerce business and brand and still make a living doing that? Absolutely not. So I personally know quite a lot of brands that were started not very long ago that are doing pretty well for themselves now and are able to make a good living from their e-commerce businesses. And I know that you can do that for yourself as well. So when I look into these businesses, what I've found is that these businesses actually do 3 very important things to stay competitive in this Amazon dominated e-commerce space. And that is why I want to share with you these 3 tips to help you to compete with Amazon. So without wasting any more time, let me just dive into it and share with you these 3 very powerful tips to help you to compete in this Amazon dominated e-commerce space. Okay, so the first thing I want to share with you that will definitely help you to compete with Amazon in this e-commerce space is that you should focus on being a niche expert or going niche specific as opposed to trying to be general or generic. So one of the biggest mistakes I see quite a number of new e-commerce entrepreneurs make is that they try to build general store and try to sell everything to everyone. So this is one of the things that will lead to your downfall. So if you want to actually strive and build a good e-commerce brand, you have to try to focus on building a niche product and focus on that specific niche. So I am also guilty of doing this in my very early days of e-commerce as well. When I just started selling on Shopify, I started out trying to sell via a general store, and then I quickly found out that building a niche and having a niche specific product is a much better way to build an e-commerce business, because it's a lot easier for you to become an expert in that niche. It's quite easy for you to build a passionate audience around a specific niche of products. It's also a lot easier for you to dominate that area as opposed to trying to dominate an entire market, and you can easily become one of the go-tos in that specific niche. So that right there is 4 benefits of going niche specific as opposed to trying to go generic and trying to compete directly with Amazon. If you try to build a general store, it's highly unlikely that you'll be able to compete with other more established general store or marketplaces such as Amazon. But building your brand around a niche allows you to actually build your own audience and to dominate that specific niche, which will give you the ability to build a good brand and a good business around that product and around that niche. Okay, so the second thing that you have to do to help you to compete in this Amazon dominated e-commerce space is that you have to find ways of being unique, find ways to differentiate yourself from Amazon and other e-commerce businesses. So Amazon does something extremely well, and there are some things that they don't do so well or don't do at all. Try to identify these things that Amazon doesn't do well or don't do at all and capitalize on these things by offering these things to your customers. customers. So what you need to do is to do something to differentiate yourself and to give your customers a good experience, something that they won't get from Amazon or another e-commerce website. So I'm going to be giving you a couple examples. There are countless different ideas, countless examples, but I'm not able to give you every single example. You are creative in your own right, so you have to find creative ways to differentiate yourself and to be unique and to give something to your customers that they cannot get anywhere else. This will help to set you apart and help you to be dominant in your niche as well. So an example of how you can actually be unique and differentiate yourself from Amazon would be to give a ridiculously high discount rate to your customers. So if you have a customer that buys an item from you today, you could give them a 50% discount code to use for future purchases. This will go a very far way, and if you do this, people are likely to share that information with their friends because it's a great story and people like amazing stories. So if you give this amazing discount to your customers, this is a way that you're differentiating yourself from Amazon, because Amazon doesn't do this in their business model. Another thing that you could do to differentiate yourself from Amazon and to be unique is that you could give away a lot of free gifts or do bundling. So let's say, for example, your main product is to sell a product for hair care. You could actually bundle that with something that goes along with hair care for that specific niche and give it away for free, of course, by factoring the price in the overall cost of that product. This is something that Amazon doesn't do either, so you could do this in your business and differentiate yourself as well. Another example of something that you could do to stand out and to be unique and to differentiate yourself from Amazon would be to create exclusive how-to videos on how to use your products, so people who buy from you can actually get access to these how-to videos to learn exactly how to get the best results from the products that you're selling. So as you can see, there are unlimited ways for you to differentiate yourself and to be unique, but this is very important for you to be competitive. So if you want to stand out in e-commerce, you have to find ways to be unique and to differentiate yourself from the main players. Okay, so the third and final tip that I want to share with you, which is quite possibly the most important tip on this list, that will help you to be competitive in this Amazon dominated e-commerce space, is brand. But most people don't really understand what brand is. A lot of people think that brand is just about your logo, but brand is your entire identity, your entire story from the very first day you start your business. So when you start your business, you start to create brand. You start to create your brand image. So you want to make sure that from the very first day of launching your business, you are trying to do everything in your power to make sure that you're creating a great brand image. So this means you have to make sure that you have great pre and post customer service. That is a very important part of creating really good brand. You want to make sure that you have a good product as well. All of these encompasses building a good brand. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on building a good brand, and this will help you to be competitive in this Amazon dominated e-commerce space. So if you're building a good brand and people start to identify with you, people will want to be a part of what you're doing. They will trust you, and over time they will start to spread the word. They will tell their friends, and they will come back and do business with you again. And this is how you build an e-commerce business for the long term and how you stay competitive in the market space. So make sure you pay very close attention to your brand image, and do remember that you start building brand the very first day you launch your business. So everything you do from the first day of launch becomes a part of your brand, and that is exactly what the market will use to decide if you have a good brand or if you have a bad brand. Okay, so just to recap, to make sure that you remember everything that was discussed in this video, the 3 things that you must do in order to be competitive in this Amazon dominated e-commerce space are to make sure that you go niche specific, to make sure that you are unique and that you find ways to differentiate yourself, and also to make sure that you focus on building good brand. So I really do hope you found a lot of value in this video, and if you did, please let me know by dropping a like on this video. If you know someone who would benefit from this information, go right ahead and share this video with them. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I would love to see you in my next video.